So now that the system is licensed, we're going to want to go through the initial configuration steps inside of Scrutinizer. If we navigate to the dashboard, we have a built-in dashboard for the welcome dashboard. On this dashboard, we have a gadget called configuration checklist. We'll see that the product is currently 16% configured. If we select that gadget, it's going to bring us to the configuration status page. The configurations page will show you the different areas of the product that should be configured so you can get the most out of the data that the system is collecting. There are a multitude of tasks inside of this configuration status. There are a few that I'm going to focus on first. The first one that I want to do is going to be IP groups. IP groups, if we select any one of the configurations inside of this checklist, it's going to give us a little bit of detail about that particular task, whether or not it is configured, the number of items that we have configured. This also gives you a link to our documentation page. We select this link here, we'll open up documentation filtered on the IP groups configurations. And then the user status for this task inside of the configuration status. So I could come in and I could accept this task and consider it complete without actually configuring anything in the IP groups. But I'd like to set up a few of these. So let's go to the administrative window. If I click on the ellipses in the top right-hand corner, opens up the admin menu. I'm going to go down to definitions and IP groups. Scrutinizer has a set of built-in IP groups that are used in various areas of the product. IP groups are used not only to help limit the data that's shown in certain types of reports, but it also helps to exclude certain IP addresses from the flow analytic algorithms that run to find anomalous traffic. If I were to come into the DNS servers default group, I can define the DNS servers that run in our network. So what I'll do is I'll come into the rules section. I'm going to add a new rule, which will be an IP address for 10.1.5.1 is a DNS server that runs in our network. So I'm going to add that to the DNS servers IP group. There is one other that I want to add. Now that I have defined two different IPs that are part of the DNS servers IP group, these IP addresses will automatically be excluded from triggering alarms based around DNS traffic. I can use the other IP groups to define things like our SNMP polars. I can add a new rule. I'm going to add the rule for an IP address. And click add, which is going to add that rule to that group. So you see in the background here, I have added definitions to the SNMP polars IP group and the DNS servers IP group. You can also define your own IP groups. What I'll do in the top right-hand corner, I'll click the plus sign. I'm going to create a new IP group. This one will be called support. This is an internal group, meaning all of the IP addresses in this group are considered internal. Once I save that, I now have the ability to add new rules. Instead of adding a single IP address, I'm going to add in a subnet, so an IP subnet to say that 10.42.0.0. I'm going to add the net mask of /16. Click add. Now, all IPs that we see in reports will be tagged as part of the support IP group if it falls inside of that subnet rule. I'm going to define one more IP group. We're going to name this sales. This is also going to be considered an internal IP group. And this will be a subnet that is 10.60.0.0, and the net mask will be also a /16. Now that I have updated a few of the built-in IB groups and created a couple of groups of my own, I could go back and look at my dashboard, and you'll see that the configuration checklist went from 16% to 24%. If I look at this, at the list of the configuration status for each of these, you'll see that I now have a green check mark saying that the IP groups is configured.